Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I apologize if I'm a little hoarse. I'm just basically kind of under the weather, but that's not why we're here. Today, we are talking about surveillance because your appliances are spying on you, as is your smart gadgets. And honestly, you should know this already, but we're also going to talk how to fix this. Now, we have some new reports coming out of the UK for a consumer outfit, kind of like their consumer reports known as Which, WHICH, with a question mark. And they have new research out, in this case, about air fryers and some other stuff that might be spying on you and sharing your data with third parties for marketing, surveillance, whatever. Now, I've said this a million, bazillion times. Smart devices are engaged in surveillance, and that data collection goes way beyond what is necessary to actually have a product function. I mean, my God, do we all need smart fridges? Fridges have been around for decades, literally almost something like 100 years. We don't need them connected. Now, testing out products across 4 different categories, which discovered that all 3 air fryers that they were testing wanted permissions to record audio from your phone for no specific reason. One wanted to know the gender and date of birth when you set up your account. The Xiaomi app, basically, which is linked to the Xiaomi air fryer, was found to be connected with trackers from Facebook, Pangle, which is the ad network for TikTok, basically out of Beijing, and another Chinese tech giant known as Tencent. Now, air fryers from brands iGoStar and Xiaomi both also sent your personal data to servers in China. And while they bury these things in privacy notices, we really don't pay attention to that. And so by virtue of that, you're giving all of this and you're enjoying your Xiaomi air fryer wherever you are in the world, and China's getting all of your data. On top of this, air fryers are just the tip of the iceberg. I've talked about this constantly, but which, once again, just reinforces what we've been talking about for years, because they also looked at smartwatches, smart speakers, smart TVs, etc., etc. Amazon, for the record, Echo with its device, not to mention anything that is listening, whether it's Amazon Echo or Siri, take your pick. They all have to be listening for their key trigger word. I've literally done videos with, basically, I have a demo, Amazon Echo, that I did this with, and it's so obvious that it has to listen to everything. I literally proved it on a video a couple of years ago. So Amazon is now offering an option to skip various requests to share data, but Amazon and Google, for the record, basically both have the same issue, because you need an Amazon or Google account to use an Echo or a Nest or anything else, and those have trackers that the researchers basically saw, and you couldn't opt out of them, specifically the Echo Pop from Amazon and the Nest Mini. And so Which also looked at the Bose home portable speaker, and the app basically requested phone permissions. They said less than some of the others, but it was found to be, quote, stuffed with trackers, including Facebook, Google, and also a connection to a digital marketing firm called Urban Airship. So you're using the Bose home speaker, and while you have less upfront options, everything you're doing basically is getting tracked in some way, shape, or form and being sent to Facebook, Google, and a digital marketing firm. Now, the researchers also found that 2 available smartwatches that you could get on Amazon, Kuzel and Weargy, I've never heard of these brands, but they're essentially the same product. These required privacy consent to operate, and if you didn't give that, it would just act as a watch. In other words, you had to basically give consent into data mining and scraping, and here we are. Now, Huawei, again, on the US's ban list, but not in the UK, Huawei's Ultimate smartwatch also requires privacy consent to work properly, and requested no fewer than nine quote-unquote risky phone permissions. Because again, the Chinese are very good at data mining, and so is the Facebooks and Googles of the world, but try suing a Chinese company in China. Now, these basically were defined, these risky categories by Which, as those that confer intimate access to certain phone functions, including precise location, the ability to record audio, access to stored files, and an ability to see all other apps installed. Now, we've seen this with other apps. The TikTok app and Temu apps have been known to do this as well, attempting to evade permissions to catalog and inventory what is on your phone. Why anybody would be using TikTok or Temu is beyond me. Are we that addicted to these pointless things? But the point is that all of this data is oftentimes going back to China. And they're not the only country But they're the biggest issue that we've got right now with this. Now, Which is also reporting that smart TVs are, quote, littered with ads and thirsty for user data. Now, they found that Hisense and Samsung being out of Korea, Hisense, I believe, is Chinese. I'm not sure about that one. Anyway, both Hisense and Samsung TVs required a postal code at setup, although both companies said it was only for content localization. Samsung also claimed that supplying a postal code was not mandatory, but the researchers said that it appeared otherwise, that they really couldn't move on without doing that. Now, Samsung's TV phone app requested 8 risky permissions, including being able to see all the other apps installed. Again, why? This is what we're talking about. The app from Hisense did not appear to connect to any trackers, while Samsung and LG linked to a number of them, including Facebook and Google. And all of these devices that were basically tested, I mean, they all wanted the precise location of the user. And again, we are being tracked left and right. And so I'll give you a perfect example from my own life. I recently needed some new appliances, so I got a fridge and an oven, all this kind of stuff. And the sales guy, as I'm talking, was like, "Oh yes, and you can connect this to your wireless, and do all this stuff." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't need an app to tell me that I'm low on milk or whatever. I can open the damn door." Like, none of this stuff is connected. So the question is, how do you fix it? You don't use it. And you, quite frankly, understand what this is. You can also go into your smartphones like Android and iPhone, and you can start turning off these required permissions. They don't need your precise location in order to function. The problem that we see, especially with the Chinese-made apps, is oftentimes they try to evade these permissions, or they have anti-tampering in the coding. So when researchers are trying to figure out what they're trying to do, they're attempting to evade the researchers. TikTok was notorious for that when they were tested by Internet 2.0 a couple of years ago. So this is a problem that we have all over the place. And quite frankly, I think we're way too interconnected. We have gone over 100 years with the light bulb. We don't need basically an app, that can be tracked. And Amazon wants this kind of information. I did a video on that a couple of years back. When you're integrating all of these Amazon smart home features, or those that integrate with the Echo, now they're tracking things like your usage, the times that you're spending in a certain room. So when you're saying, Brexa, I can't say the full word because I always get in trouble for that, turn on the living room lights, turn this off. They know when you wake up. They know when you go to bed. They know how you're interacting. The thing is always listening. If you've got an Amazon Echo with cameras in it, basically it can see things. You're walking by with a t-shirt from your favorite band. Guess what kind of advertising you're getting? Tickets to their concert, or MP3s to download, or whatever. This is a huge problem that we have pervasively, and we are the most data mined generation out there, the current generations under this. And quite frankly, I think it needs to stop. So be aware, because odds are you probably have a Samsung TV or something in your life, or an LG, or any one of these, and understand what it's doing, understand how it's data mining you, and take appropriate precautions. But the way to fix it, don't use the smart features. It's really that simple. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP, where you will be data mined. Same with YouTube as well. And I'm now on Blue Sky, so check me out there, where we're probably being data mined as well. We're definitely being data mined. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please, just please, please, please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.